Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So it has been quite some time since we've done a yes or no reading on this channel, so I thought it is time to finally do another one. This is going to give you a straightforward answer to any question that you have. When it comes to tarot readings, we are always reading the current energy or the future based on the current energy, and so nothing is set in stone. And so I hope that this reading can give you a good idea of where you're at and what the future is looking like based on your current energy, and what would be necessary to move forward if you want to keep this outcome or change the outcome. So there are a couple of disclaimers that I have for this reading, but I think that I will go over them after you guys have chosen your group, because I know that not everybody watches the whole intro. But just before we get into it, I want to give a huge thank you to Tarot Stack, who is sponsoring today's video. They are a small business that retails and publishes indie tarot and oracle decks. They have a wide selection of diverse, inclusive, nature-inspired, and feminine indie decks created by artists from around the world. It's great because you can browse decks from tons of different artists all in one place. You can also watch unboxing videos and take a look at every card in the deck right on their site to make sure you really like it before purchasing. Personally, I've shopped on other sites where you can only see the box and maybe a few cards, if that, only to have the deck arrive and find out that I don't really resonate with it. So I really appreciate that they do this. And on Tarot Stack, all decks are sourced directly from the artist and only listed at the artist's suggested retail price, so you know that it's an authentic and fair price. Another thing that I love about Tarot Stack is that they support independent artists in the tarot community. More than 50% of their profits are directed towards funding upcoming tarot and oracle deck projects. There is no cost to the creator, by the way, or the artist of the deck, and they offer marketing services for the deck as well. And in fact, this beautiful deck that we're going to be using today, this is the Live at the Ghost Tarot, and this is actually their first publishing project, and they do have more in the works right now. These projects mean so much to me because I actually know some of the artists that they're working with, and I have used their decks before in my videos, and to see them publishing their decks makes me so proud, and I'm so grateful that Tarot Stack has made that possible for them. So this is definitely a business that is very close to my heart. Tarot Stack is giving my viewers 10% off this deck with the code KINO. So after watching this reading, if you think you might like it, please feel free to check out the full deck on their site to see if it resonates with you. So thank you so much to Tarot Stack for sponsoring today's video, and thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for allowing me to collaborate with you. It has been such a pleasure. Thank you for supporting our community and the amazing talented artists that we have providing decks for us. And thank you so much to you guys for listening to that and for supporting them and for supporting my channel. And finally, let's get on to your option selection. So there are 5 readings for you guys to choose from today. We have a different stone for each group in a different shape. So I'm going to show you guys all of these close up one by one. And please feel free to choose as many as you feel drawn to. You could even choose all of them for 5 different questions that you have, but these are going to be pretty short and direct readings. So you could watch multiple of them to get answers for multiple questions. So without further ado, let's give you a close-up look at each of your options. For option number 1, we have this white agate heart. For option number 2, we have this amethyst cloud. For option number 3, we have this moss agate palm stone. For option number 4, we have this Angelite moon. And for option number 5, we have this Druzy Agate point. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose the white agate heart, this is going to be your reading. So in today's reading, like I mentioned in the intro, we are going to be using the Live at the Ghost tarot deck, and we're going to be pulling 6 cards from this deck. If a card comes out in the reverse, I am going to keep it in the reverse. And if we see that there are more upright cards, then this will be a yes answer to your question. If we see more reversed cards, this will be a no. And if it's half and half, then this will be a maybe or an it's up to you. But whatever the case may be, whatever answer we get, we are going to see why this is the answer. We may also get some advice for you regarding this situation. We may see if this outcome is likely to change, and if so, how would that change? So that's basically what we are looking at today. Just a quick disclaimer, I think that many of you guys know already, but I do not do readings for life or death situations. So if you're asking a question like that, this reading is not going to work. But without further ado, let's get into it and start shuffling your deck. All right, for my number ones, what is the answer to their yes or no question? Okay, so we are starting off with the moon in reverse. Then we have the Page of Pentacles in the upright. The Eight of Swords in reverse. The Ten of Swords in the upright. Okay, so half and half so far. Then we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. And finally, we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So it looks like at this moment, the answer to your question is leaning towards a no. We have in the upright, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. And I feel like what this reading is indicating is that you're being encouraged to put an end to a certain situation or walk away from a current situation, because the Ten of Swords has to do with endings. In this deck, interestingly, the sword is shattered into fragments. I think that this is very interesting because generally swords represent truth, decisiveness, clarity, and communication. So this could be a situation that you have been very indecisive about, that you've struggled to get clarity either from yourself or from another party involved. It could be a situation where if there is another party involved, you haven't been getting a lot of communication or answers, and it's just made you very confused. The Ten of Swords also, I've seen it indicate anxiety from overthinking, almost like similar to the Nine of Swords, but a little bit more intense. Like you are exhausting yourself, draining yourself, literally thinking or overanalyzing a situation to death, and it is just time to move on and let go of it, because your mental health and your peace of mind is more important than this situation. It's almost as if the cards are saying, you could overthink this situation to death and think of a bunch of different scenarios to make it work, but the outcome that you would get out of it is not even worth it. Like it wouldn't have been worth all the mental agony that you put yourself through to get what you wanted anyway. I hope that that makes sense. And even with the Page of Pentacles here, you know, there is some offer here, there is some value here, but it's small because the page is the smallest of court cards. So this would be a situation where you put yourself through a lot of mental stress and even pain and you go through a very hard time, putting in a lot of your effort into a situation, only to get pennies or only to get crumbs. It's like things would come through, but it wouldn't be equivalent to the amount of energy that you put in. So I think that this could be either saying like, no, the situation is not going to come through and that is for your best interest. We're saving you a lot of stress. Or like, even if you did stay in the situation, you could get something out of it, but it would be so small. So it's like there's an ending here, there's an encouragement to walk away here, and then we have all of these reverse cards. With the Two of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like another party has been like wishy-washy or giving mixed messages. It could also be talking about a roller coaster that you've been through in this situation where, you know, sometimes it seems like things are going to work out and sometimes it doesn't. So you're going through these periods of like having a lot of hope and then being stressed out again, because the Two of Pentacles does have this sort of wavy motion, like riding the waves and juggling different energies. And I think that this just, the ups and downs, the roller coaster has not been good for you. With the Seven of Swords here in reverse, there could be some deception going on. So it could be that another party has been deceptive towards you, whether that is like outright lying or just not showing the full truth of them. This could also be you in some ways lying to yourself, like telling yourself it's going to be okay, telling yourself it's not that bad, telling yourself we can get through it. I do this to myself very often when, like, I know darn well that I'm not happy in a situation, but for whatever reason my ego wants to hold on to it, and I'm like, oh well, it's really not that bad, like I could be happy here. But I think that there, even, you know, with this sword that represents truth being broken, there's a feeling of like, we're not looking at the truth of the situation, or someone is not showing us the truth of the situation. And, you know, same with the Moon in reverse, like this can talk about illusions. It can talk about delusions, like we're being a bit delusional in a situation, or like we just don't want to see the truth of it. It feels like something that we need to let go of, but it's difficult. And even though the limbo is uncomfortable, maybe there's a part of you that says, well, a limbo is better than a no. Mixed messages are better than a no. Up and down is better than a no. But I feel like we need to break through from this situation. And with the Eight of Swords in reverse, this is representing a lack of confidence. A lack of confidence, or someone is stuck in their own mental trap. Maybe you feel like you need to stay in this situation. Maybe you feel like there are no better options, or you feel scared of losing something. But in some ways, I could even think of this Page of Pentacles as you, as this person who has so much potential and so much to offer, but just needs to spread their wings. I feel like this bird on the Page of Pentacles combined with the Eight of Swords in reverse, it's like a bird that doesn't know they can fly, or a bird that has never given themselves the chance to spread their wings because they're afraid of falling. Like, this energy very much does hold us back. And I think that this reading wants you to know that you're capable of so much more and you're worthy of so much more. So I feel like this is a no that protects you from a lot of stress. And this is a no that, I don't know if you wanted a no or not, but I think that this no at the end of the day is going to be very freeing for you, and it's going to allow you to manifest something much better into your life. Oh, I should have said this at the beginning, but I just wanted to point out that we do have Pisces energy here with the Moon. So a Pisces person could be significant, or Pisces season could be significant. I'm not sure when you're watching this reading, but when this reading is up, Pisces season will be coming pretty soon. It is late February to late March. And we also have Earth sign energy here with the page. So this could be Taurus energy, Virgo energy, or Capricorn energy. Regardless of when you're watching this reading, I feel that the next 2 to 3 months could be significant for you. Okay, so group number ones, this is all for your reading. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And definitely check out the Livette the Ghost Tarot if you guys like this deck and think you might resonate with it. You can check out every card in the deck on Tarot Stack's website, and you will be able to get this deck for 10% off with my code KINO. So that's going to be linked below if you guys are interested. And if you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can do so on Instagram, on Patreon, on my music channel, and on my website, kinotarot.com, where we have my merch. So all of that stuff is going to be linked for you down below in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. Group number one, I'm sending you guys so much love to any other parties involved. If you are going to be watching another group for a different question, I will see you over there. Or if this is the last reading for you, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Amethyst Cloud, which I find very adorable, this is going to be your reading. So like I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be using the Livette the Ghost Tarot deck, and I'm going to be pulling 6 cards from the deck. If a card comes out in the reverse, I will keep it in the reverse, and if we see that there are more upright cards in your reading, then this will be a yes answer to your question. If we see more reversals, then this will be a no answer, and if it's half and half, then this will be a maybe or an it's up to you. But whatever answer we get, we are going to see why this is the case and what this answer means for you. We may also see some advice for you, or if it's likely that this outcome could change, and if so, how it would change. But for sure, we are going to see the answer and the why. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I did just want to make a disclaimer, which I think that most of you guys already know, but I don't do readings for matters of life or death. So if your question is of that nature, then this reading will not work. Okay, so think of your question as I shuffle this deck. Group number twos, what is the answer to group number two's yes or no question? What is the answer to their question? We are starting off with the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. Then we have the Queen of Cups in the upright. We have the Emperor in the upright. Then we have the Knight of Cups in the upright. So this is already a yes, but let's get the last 2 cards. The Knight of Swords in reverse. And then finally, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So we have 4 cards in the upright and 2 cards in the reverse, which means that your situation is definitely leaning more towards a yes right now. I think it's interesting that we have the Knight of Pentacles in the, actually we have 3 knights, holy crap. 3 out of 4 knights in this spread. That's really cool. Knights would indicate like something is being set into motion, something is making progress. So For some of you, this could be a situation that it's like yes, but not yet, or yes, but we still have some time to go. I don't really want this reading to be about me like guessing what your question is. However, I do want to give some examples just to articulate that better. So, for example, if your question was like, should I go to college? Then maybe this is like a yes, but not this year. Like, take your time. Or, am I gonna end up with so-and-so in a relationship? Yes, but we're gonna be taking things slow. Maybe that person still needs some time to warm up, or maybe they have other situations going on that they're focusing on. So it is definitely a yes, but it seems like it is not a rushed yes. The situation is definitely moving. We're definitely making progress because we have 3 nights. There is a lot of motion happening here. But what I'm noticing is that the upright nights are the slower ones. Like the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, these are the slower moving nights, where the fastest moving knight, the Knight of Swords, is in the reverse. So this is really a situation where we don't want to rush things. And I also want to point out that like we have a slight majority of yes. So it's looking like a yes, but of course nothing is set in stone. And this might be a situation where actually if we rush things, it could get in the way of our desired outcome. Like rushing things or forcing things right now is not the best option. With the Knight of Swords in reverse, I feel that for some of you, this is advice to not reach out to someone and wait for them to reach out. Like you could be feeling antsy right now. Maybe you're waiting for some news, or like you're waiting for someone or something to come forward to you, and you might be feeling called to follow up or like reach out to someone again. And I feel like there is an advice not to do that, because we might be, with these 2 cards in reverse, we might be getting a little bit antsy, we might be getting a little bit impatient, and there's just a very strong message coming through of like, this is not to be rushed. Like, take your time. The Knight of why can't I say that? The Knight of Cups often indicates to me that things are moving like in a slow and leisurely pace. And even this Knight of Pentacles, I think because it's a child, it seems more like carefree and playful. This child has stopped to pick some flowers. There could also be a message here about just like slowing down and taking this scenic route. I feel like some of you guys might have tunnel vision on an outcome that you really, really want, that you're forgetting to slow down and enjoy the present moment. Okay, for a hypothetical example, I'm currently in Canada and I'm here for a month, and things definitely slow down while I'm here because I'm not in the place where I live, I'm not going to school, I'm not working much. And so if this was my reading, it would be saying like, yes, you are gonna get back there, you're gonna get back to work, you're gonna get back to doing all your exciting things, but don't let that excitement to go back stop you from enjoying this slow time with your family. So it's like, slow down, this is gonna come, you don't have to worry about it. For now, be happy in your current situation, because there's a lot of things to enjoy right now. There's a lot of things to be grateful right now. And be grateful for right now. Sorry, I think I said that wrong. And with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups here, I think it has to do with like being grateful for the current connections that you have. So again, just using hypothetical questions, maybe you are wondering like, am I gonna get to move? Am I gonna get to change my job or something of that nature? And it's like, yeah, but there's no rush, because you still want this time to treasure with your friends from your hometown or from your current city, or treasure with your coworkers, or treasure with your family. Like, this is gonna come in time no matter what. And if you just keep focusing all your energy on like, I can't wait for this to come, I can't wait for this to happen, then when it does come, you might regret that you didn't take your time more. You might regret that you didn't like slow down to enjoy your current situation more. With this child, I'm kind of thinking of like, you know, when we're kids, we all can't wait to grow up. We can't wait for our adulthood to come. And then when our adulthood does come, we're like, damn, I wish that I enjoyed my childhood more. Like, I didn't realize how good I had it. So I think your guides are saying like, this outcome that's coming, it's not like the be all end all of your happiness that's going to make everything amazing. Like, yes, it's going to be great, but you also have a lot of great things to experience and enjoy right now. So like with the Emperor here, which is actually also about like family and also very like a grounding and stable energy, being firmly rooted where you are, there's almost an advice to take this yes, know that this outcome is coming, and now just let it go. Because we don't want to be like waiting for it and checking on it all the time and longing for it, because then our mind goes over there. And I think your guides are encouraging you to keep your mind over here. Get comfortable in your current situation, enjoy your current situation, because I feel like there is going to come a time where you miss it. What I think this yes brings for you, I think it's going to bring happiness into your life. It's going to bring love into your life. Even if this is not a desired yes right now, it is going to bring you in the long run greater love, truer love. It's going to make you more gentle with yourself, more in touch with your emotions. This could be an opportunity for healing as well, and to truly see what you're capable of. With this Emperor here, the Emperor often shows us stepping into a more independent position, stepping more into a position of authority, really coming into our own and recognizing our own strengths and taking charge of our life. So there's definitely a very bright future coming for you guys. It is just a matter of time, and we don't want to rush any of the processes. Like, every single chapter in your life is valuable and has something beautiful to give you. So we don't want to be like that child that's rushing to become an adult. Even like if you're wishing for a relationship, you might think like, wow, I'm really happy that I'm in this relationship now, but I wish I had enjoyed the single life more, or I wish that I had enjoyed like not having responsibility, like the freedom of being a child, or the freedom of not having children, or of being single and getting to go wherever I want to go and do whatever I want to do. Like, if I had known that this was coming anyway, I would have enjoyed my current situation more. I hope that that makes sense. So it's a yes that's coming in good time. I see a lot of emotional fulfillment for you in your future, as well as, like, this to me is saying emotional fulfillment, inner peace, and these to me are saying you feel stable and secure. So the advice for you right now is to just get out of your head, enjoy the current situation. If you're like wondering if you should reach out to someone right now, I think the answer is wait for them to do so. Like, there's no need to follow up. There's no need to rush things. And also to kind of like stop checking on the situation, because it's like your mind keeps running away and wanting to check on this situation. So like, if you're the type of person who watches like a million pick a card readings about the same thing, or like a week goes by and you're like, I wonder if something has changed, I wonder if there's been progress, I feel like this is more of a slow, long-term thing, and your guides are like, just give it to us and stop worrying about it. It's gonna be fine. So group number 2, those are the messages I have for you. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and definitely check out the Live at the Ghost tarot deck. If you guys enjoyed this deck and you want to check out all of the cards, you can do so on Tarot Stack's website, and you can also get the deck for 10% off with my code KINO. So that's going to be linked down below for you guys. And if you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram, on Patreon, on my music channel, as well as my website where I have my merch. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. Group number 2, I'm sending you guys so much love. Much love to anyone who may be involved in your situation, to your spirit guides and your whole spiritual team. If you're heading over to a different group right now, then I will see you over there. But if this is your last reading, then I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Moss Agate, this is going to be your reading. So like I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be using the Live at the Ghost Tarot deck, and I'm going to be pulling 6 cards from this deck. If there are any reversals that come out, I'm going to keep them in the reverse, and if we see that there are more upright cards in your reading, then that will mean a yes answer to your question. If there are more reversals, then that will mean a no answer, and if it's half and half, then this will be a maybe or an it's up to you. But whatever answer we do get, we're going to see why this is the answer and what this answer means for you. We may also get some advice for your current situation, or we may see whether this outcome can change, if it's likely that it will change, and if so, how. But we're definitely going to get your answer and your why. So just before I get into it, I did want to make a disclaimer that I don't do readings on matters of life or death. So if your question is something of that nature, then this reading is not going to work for you. But otherwise, let's get into it. So think of the question on your mind as I shuffle the deck. Doing one more. All right, my group number 3s, what is the answer to group number 3's yes or no question? We are starting off with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Then we have the Ace of Swords in the upright. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Five of Swords in the upright, then we have the Page of Cups in the upright, and then finally we have the I think this is the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. So we have 1, 2, 3 cards in the upright and 1, 2, 3 cards in the reverse. So this is up in the air. This is a maybe, or this is it's up to you. I want to start by looking at the 2 aces that are here. We have an Ace of Swords in the upright and an Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. It seems to me like you or someone else in the situation, like we are waiting for a new beginning or hoping for something to happen. We're hoping for things to turn out well, and there's a feeling of the intentions are there, but the actions are not. I don't want this reading to be about me like guessing what your question is, but I do want to use a couple examples just to illustrate this energy more clearly. So this could be, for example, someone who wants to start their own creative pursuits or start their own business or become successful in some endeavor. And this is a maybe because they have the potential, they have the ideas, and they have the intentions, but they're not taking action. So like it could very well be a yes if you or if the party involved took action and came through with their word, but it seems like there is a lack of action here. This could also be, you know, if something about a relationship where a person wants things to work, has good intentions towards another person, but they're not really showing up in the way that they need to for things to work out. So it's like, in order for this to become a yes, someone needs to like get up and do something. For some of you guys, because I mean, depending on your situation, yes could be something that you want, or yes could be something that you don't want. I just had this thought of like someone asking if a person is betraying them or like doing something that would hurt them. And then the answer would be no, they haven't like physically done anything, but they have thoughts of it. It's whatever the case might be, it feels like someone who has thoughts and feelings of doing something, but is not actually doing it yet, like in actual life, if that makes sense. And I think that this is really one of those situations where actions speak louder than words. We have an upright page and a reverse queen. With the Page of Cups here, it does mean that there are some fond feelings and there are some positive intentions here. But with the Five of Swords, there's still a bit of indecision or a bit of discord between people. For example, this could easily be like two people who want to stay together, who want to make the relationship work, but like their values are just too different, or their idea of a happy relationship is different. And so it's like, we have that desire, we have that potential, but are we actually going to put in the action to make it work? And it seems like that kind of remains to be seen. But what I can say is that whatever the situation is, you have to really want it, and all of the parties involved have to really want it. Because if you don't really want it and you don't really put in the effort, then things are going to fall through. And maybe the fact that this is even up in the air is an answer to some of you. Like, I don't want it to be up in the air. I want a definitive answer. So the fact that it's 50-50, maybe that is like a very clear answer for you guys, you know? Like, I don't want someone who's 50-50 about me in my life, or if, you know, if my success is 50-50, then shit, I know I gotta like really start being serious about what I'm doing and putting in more effort. I feel like we do not want this to be a maybe. We don't want this to be up in the air. And so based on that, we know what actions we need to take. Yeah, I mean, the Page of Cups, he's sweet. He has some positive emotion and positive intention, but with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like this situation, we're lacking practicality, or we're lacking stability, or we're not really nurturing something. You know, like if you have a passion for dance and you want to be a dancer, like it's one thing to have those fond emotions towards dancing and those fantasies and those feelings of love towards it. That's beautiful, and this is something that can fuel you on your journey. But if you don't have that like down to earth practical energy that's like, okay, I'm gonna go practice every day, and I'm gonna find auditions, and I'm gonna show up even when I'm not feeling like it, because consistency is important. Like, it's not always sunshine and rainbows nurturing something that we love. But when we really love something or really want something, we put in the effort to make it work. And I just feel someone in this situation is being kind of like wishy-washy, or is like not willing to make effort when things are tough, or when things aren't sunshine and rainbows. I'm even seeing like this rain cloud here with the rain falling, and it's making me think of, there's that expression of like fair weather friends, like I'll stick around when things are easy, or I'll stick around when things are good. But it's like when things get difficult, the energy becomes iffy. Someone's commitment is like not rock solid here. And I don't know if that's you, like your commitment towards a situation or someone else, but we don't want this 50-50 energy. That's what it feels like. And even like, I believe this is the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, or at least I have read it like that. You know, that is a card that in the upright would talk about something that's like stable and has a long-term future. And it's possible, you know, this is not a clear-cut yes or no. It's possible that things can work out in the long-term future, but I think there needs to be some big adjustments. I think that you and other parties involved need to really like think long and hard about, is this really something that I want? Do I really want to make this work? And if the answer is yes, then what is it that makes my actions not in alignment with that? Like, if I really want this, what is it that's stopping me from moving towards it or working on it? If this is another party, I guess it's really up to you if you feel like it's worth waiting for this person to do that thinking, or waiting for this person to make a decision, or like I said, maybe just knowing that this person is not sure is your answer. Like, okay, I don't want that uncertainty. I don't want that wishy-washy energy. And then like, I just feel like there's some who, the way you form this question, like the yes answer is something bad. And there's like, that bad thing hasn't happened yet, but the potential is there. That bad thing hasn't happened yet, but someone's thinking about it, is the kind of vibe. And maybe that's also your answer. Even if they haven't done it, I don't even want the thought there or the potential there. So yeah, it's in the air, but things can always change, things can always look up. So I think it's really like, you obviously know your situation the best. I don't want to be like guessing what your situation is, just providing insight on the current energies. If this is you, I feel like it's easy to turn around, right? Like, if this is just you involved in the situation, it's easy for you to do that reflection, figure out where the disalignment is within yourself, and move in the right direction to get the outcome you want. If there's someone else involved in the situation, of course, we cannot control how other people think. We cannot control what other people do. So that will really be up to you if you feel it's worth the wait. If you're okay with accepting the fact that this person is in a wishy-washy energy and like helping them pull through or waiting for them to pull through, but you certainly don't have to do that. But yeah, the energy is definitely split for this one, but I hope at the very least this has brought some clarity and that you have figured out what you want to do, or it's helped you to figure out what you want to do. So group number 3, those are all the messages that I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and definitely check out the Live at the Ghost Tarot deck. If you enjoyed this deck and you feel like it might resonate with you, you can take a look at all of the cards on Tarot Stack's website. And you can also get the deck for 10% off using the code KINO. So that's going to be linked down below for you. If you enjoy my content and you would like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram, on Patreon, on my music channel, as well as on my website where I have my merch. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. Group number 3, I'm sending you guys so much love. Much love to everyone who may be involved in your situation, to your spirit guides, and to your whole spiritual team. Thank you so much for being here. If you are heading over to listen to another group now, then I will see you over there. But if this is your last reading, then I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number fours, so if you guys chose this beautiful Angelite moon, this is going to be your reading. So like I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be using the Livette the Ghost Tarot deck, and I'm going to be pulling 6 cards from this deck. If a card comes out in the reverse, I will keep it reversed, and if we see that there are more upright cards in your reading, then that will be a yes answer to your question. If we see that there are more reversed cards, then that will be a no answer. And if it's half and half, then that will be a maybe or an it's up to you. But whatever the answer is, we are going to see why this is the answer and what this answer means for you. We might also get some advice for you pertaining to your current situation. We might also see whether it's likely that this outcome changes, and if so, how could it change? But we will definitely get your answer and definitely get your why. So just before we get into it, I do have one disclaimer, and that is that I don't do readings for matters of life and death. So if your question is pertaining to that, then this reading will not work for you. But other than that, let's get right into it. So think of the question that you have while I shuffle the cards. Okay, my group number 4s. What is the answer to group number 4's yes or no question? Ooh, is the answer to their question a yes or no? Okay, so we're starting off with Temperance in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. Then we have the Tower in the upright. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. And then we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. And Judgment in the upright. So if I'm not mistaken, this looks like we have half of the cards in reverse and half of the cards in the upright. And interestingly, we have a lot of major arcana going on here. 4 out of the 6 cards are major arcana. And this leads me to believe that the situation you guys are asking about, fate and destiny is heavily involved in it. It seems like you're asking about something quite significant, or something that will bring a lot of significant changes to your life. And the feeling that I also got when I was shuffling the deck is that it seems like a situation that you've been thinking about for a long time, that you've been waiting for an answer or waiting to see what happens for a long time, and it almost feels like you feel left hanging, if that makes sense. I think that what we're seeing here is you've come to a fork in the road on your journey, except for both of the potential paths are destiny. It's like your fate branches off into 2 paths. And it's up to you to choose which way you want to go. I will say, when I was shuffling the deck, the Queen of Cups kind of flipped up so that I could see her, and then she didn't come out. She just kind of popped up to say hi to me, and I feel like that makes a lot of sense. When we are stuck in a decision, when we're at a fork in the road and we get a cup like the a card like the Queen of Cups, it generally tells us that we should make the decision with our heart. We should do what feels right rather than what seems to logically make sense. We should do what we truly want to do rather than what we think we should do. We need to go with our heart. We need to go with what our intuition is telling us. I think for some of you, the answer to this question is that your intuition is correct about it. It's just a matter of, will you choose it and will you go for it? So you might be feeling very strongly drawn to a certain path, a certain connection, whatever it might be. And this reading is letting you know that yes, there is something there. What you are feeling is real. What you are feeling is valid. But the reason this is a maybe is because we don't know if you're gonna follow what your intuition is telling you. We don't know if you're gonna go for it. So, oh, there was something I wanted to say and then it just escaped from me. I think I wanted to say that just because something is in your destined path doesn't mean that it has to happen, because like I mentioned in the intro, nothing is set in stone. So just for an example, you could be in your life path, you could be destined to become a doctor, but if you don't take the steps to go to medical school and go through all the education and look for the job, then it could not happen. You don't have to be a doctor. Nothing can force you into that path. Or maybe someone is your soulmate, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're 100% going to end up together. The universe can do so much to show us signs and to facilitate the journey, but at the end of the day, it's our free will that chooses it. So there is something to the feelings that you feel in this situation. It's just we don't know which path you're going to choose. That's kind of how this reading looks. Yes, this path was in your plan, but it doesn't mean you have to do it. Or yes, this person is your soulmate, but it doesn't mean you have to be with them. That's kind of the vibe. So it's really up to your free will. So if we look at the cards in the upright, if we look at the cards that are pointing towards a yes, I do feel like a lot of patience would be required on this journey. It definitely wouldn't be a linear journey. I often feel with the Knight of Pentacles, even though he is quite stable and sturdy, I often see it as a non-linear journey for whatever reason. I feel that there would be a lot of tests on this journey as well with judgment. And in order to truly move to your desired outcome, you would have to, you would have to forgive yourself. You would have to forgive yourself for things that you've done in the past, or you would have to release harsh judgments from yourself. It feels like if you choose this path, your commitment will be tested a lot. You will have to go through a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. Because I see this tower that has a bunch of holes poked in it, and it's is this tower going to make it, or is this tower going to fall over? It seems like on this journey you will get there, but you'll have to try a lot of different things. You'll have to try a lot of different plans. And it's important to remember that just because one way didn't work or one plan didn't work, it doesn't mean that it was a waste of time or that it wasn't meant to happen. Because every time you try something, it's always going to teach you something. So maybe your goal is to get famous and you try a million different ways to make yourself seen. In order to keep the drive to get to your goal, you have to have this mindset of like a failed attempt, and I say it with finger quotes because it's not really a failure, always has within it a valuable lesson. I think if you go through this journey with a mindset of, if this doesn't play out perfectly, if this doesn't bring me my desired outcome, I don't even want to have the experience. That is like a way to set yourself up for losing motivation. It's the same thing with dating. If you have the mentality of like, if this person I'm about to go on my first date with isn't my soulmate, I don't even want to go. That's not the right mentality. That's not what's going to get you your desired outcome, because every single person that you meet, even if you don't have a second date, even if they're not your soulmate, you're going to learn more about yourself, and you're going to learn more about what you do want and what you don't want. It's like saying, if I can't be 80 years old, then I don't want to live at all. And it's like, maybe that's a weird analogy, but it's like you have to go through all of the ages to become 80. And it's like a 20-year-old being like, oh, I'm not 80. This is a waste of time. I feel like that's not exactly it, but every step you get through is a step there, and nothing is a waste. That's what I'm trying to say. So you would definitely need to have that mindset of like, it's okay if this thing I'm stepping into doesn't bring me exactly where I want to go, because I know that it's an important step and I know that it's a lesson. Because it's like, you will have to go through many steps. It won't always feel linear, and it requires patience and consistency. It's like when you're training for a marathon, some days you're going to have a really good time, some days not so good. It doesn't mean that you're getting worse. It's just, that's life. That's the cycles. Some days you'll feel more connected to your higher self or more connected to your soulmate. Other days you'll feel less connected. Other days you'll feel less hopeful. But the consistency is important. Continuing to show up and continuing to believe is important. So like, this can be a yes, or I should say this could be a positive outcome if you really want it, if you show consistency, and if you recognize that nothing is really a failure in this journey, because every step is teaching you something. Now, let's take a look at the cards in reverse. I feel like things that could pull you off your journey are impatience, letting your emotions get the best of you, allowing your emotions to go up and down a lot. So, for example, I'm a YouTuber. If one of my videos does really well, I should not let it get to my head and be like, oh my gosh, I'm the shit, I'm the best YouTuber ever. And if one of my videos does poorly, I should not think like I'm a failure, everyone hates me, I'm a flop. That is too volatile, and having volatile emotions, having roller coasters like this, it's like a big enemy to consistency. With Temperance in reverse, I feel like there's really, I almost want to say a warning message or advice to stay level-headed on this journey and to trust yourself more than anything else. And you know, with the Lovers here, many of you guys could be asking about a relationship or like a divine counterpart situation. I did want to use that as an example where, you know, if you get a really good love reading, then you're like over the moon. Oh my gosh, this is the love of my life. We're going to get married and have 15 babies and be so in love. And then when you get a bad reading, you're like you feel completely doomed. You feel completely defeated. We have to stay, it's like we're trying to find this healthy middle ground where we're keeping our head down and we're going to keep putting in efforts no matter what. So a really good result should not make you get too comfortable and stop putting in effort. And a poor result should not make you feel doomed and make you want to give up. It's like having a healthy detachment from your emotions and just continuing on the path. Just continuing on the path. Don't let anything get to your head. Stay humble and yet stay hopeful. And then with the Lovers here in reverse, I do feel sometimes this card makes me think of comparison to others, and I feel like that's really relevant for you guys. One thing that might take you off your happiest path is looking at what everyone else is doing as like what you should be doing. Because we had that Queen of Cups before. We have to go with our heart. We have to go with our intuition. And I feel like there's a risk of like choosing the path that you think you should, with finger quotes again, because it looks more like what everyone else is doing. It looks more like what the socially acceptable people are doing. It looks more normal on the outside. So I guess comparison, or like caring about what others might think of you, that could also take you off the best path. And then the other thing with the Seven of Wands in reverse, trying to do everything by yourself or taking on too much, could also take you off your destined path. So back to the YouTuber example. If this person sets really, really high standards of like, okay, I'm going to put out a video every single day, then that's going to lead them to burnout. Or if that person training to run a marathon is like, I'm going to shave a minute off my time every single time I run, it's like setting these standards that are too high. Or like, I'm going to do this manifestation spell and it's going to manifest what I want in 24 hours. Like doing these kind of drastic, very set limit, very clear-cut standard, and like expecting yourself to meet this standard every time, that is also something that I think could set you up for disappointment and could set you up for losing motivation. So we've kind of seen what can keep you on the right path and what could stray you from the right path, if that's correct grammar. So for those of you who are at a fork in the road, listening to your internal dialogue, I think, can be very, very telling. If you tell yourself things like, oh, I should choose this path because it's what so-and-so expects of me, or it's what I should do, or it's the logical thing, or I have to choose this path because I have to reach this goal, or it's what everyone else is doing, then that may not be the true path that you want. I think that being in the right mindset is really important for choosing the right path, because this is a decision that needs to be made with your heart. And I feel like deep down you guys know. And so maybe this reading is really just about reassuring you that you can and should choose the path where your heart is, where your truest love is. And know that that will be worth the wait, and that it will be worth the effort, and it will be worth all the times that you try, and it will be worth all the lessons that you learn. It's like that. It feels like, judgment often to me feels like a moment of truth. And I feel like you guys on your journey in life, you've reached that moment of truth. Like you've reached that fork in the road, and it's like drum roll, and it's like, which path are they going to take? And you want to commit to your heart. Wow. Choose love. Choose your heart. Choose, and you know this, like your intuition has been telling you this all along. But I think there's some forces, there's some like conflicting energies at play, because we have some impatience going on, we have some comparison and concern with others, like opinions and expectations going on, we have very strict standards going on. These are all things that are based in fear, and that could pull you off your path. And so maybe you just needed to be reminded of your truth, and be reminded that being strict on yourself is not going to help. It's just about being consistent, continuing to show up and continuing to believe. Even if you're not always showing up as your best, even if you're not always doing your best, even if you doubt it some days, it's okay. The most important thing is just to keep going. Keep going with what you're doing. So this is a group that I would definitely be curious what your situation is. So if you feel called to, if you feel comfortable to, please feel free to share more about the details of your situation in the comments and how this reading resonated for you. It's definitely a very significant time in your life, and I hope that this all made sense for you, and I hope that it brought some clarity. I keep forgetting to say the zodiac signs at the beginning, but we have Sagittarius, Gemini, Scorpio, this can also be Aries. So what did I just say? Aries, Gemini, Scorpio, and Sag. Those could be significant energies to this group. Significant people could have these placements. They could also be important times of the year. But I think that those are all the messages that I have for you guys. So I'm going to end your reading here. I just saw 2121, by the way. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And definitely check out the Livette the Ghost Tarot deck. If you enjoyed this deck and you think it might resonate with you, feel free to take a look at all of the cards that will be on Tarot Stack's website. And you can also get the deck for 10% off with my code KINO. So that's going to be down below for you guys in the description and in the pinned comment. If you enjoy my content and you would like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram, on Patreon, on my music channel, as well as on my website where I have my merch. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked for you in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Group number 4s, I'm sending you guys so much love to anyone who may be involved in your situation, and much love to your spirit guides and your whole spiritual team. Thank you so much for being here. If you're going to listen to a different group now for a different question, then I will see you over there. But if this is your last reading today, then I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 5s, so if you guys chose this lovely Druzy Agate point, this is going to be your reading. So like I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be using the Livette the Ghost Tarot deck. I'm going to be pulling 6 cards from this deck, and I will be keeping reversals for today's reading. So if we see that there are more upright cards in your spread, then this will be a yes answer to your question. If we see that there are more reversals, then this will be a no. And if we get half and half, then that will be a maybe or an it's up to you. But regardless of the answer that we get, we are going to see why this is the answer and what this answer means for you. And we might also get some advice regarding your current situation. We may also see whether it's possible for this outcome to change, and if so, how would that change? But we will definitely be getting your answer and your why. And just one thing I want to say before we start, a little disclaimer: I don't do readings on matters of life or death, so if your question was pertaining to something like that, then this reading is not going to work for you. But other than that, let's get right into it. So I'm going to shuffle the cards and think about your question while I'm doing this. All right, I want to do one more because that was really fun. This deck shuffles nicely. Okay. Woo! All right, my group number 5s. What is the answer to group number 5's yes or no question? We are starting off with the 6 of Swords in the upright. Then we have the 2 of Cups in the upright. We have the Chariot in the upright. So definitely not a no. Then we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. the Nine of Cups in the upright, and the Three of Pentacles, I want to say, in the upright. Oh my gosh, so this is a yes, and it's a pretty strong one. This is actually the second yes of the video today, but this one is the strongest yes that we have in the whole reading. And I will say, looking at the meanings of these cards, this seems to be a happy yes, because all of the cards that came out in the upright position are positive cards, and the one card that's in the reverse, the Five of Cups, is usually a more negative sort of meaning. So like the one card that you would want to be in the reverse, I guess. With that being said, if you did formulate your question such that you didn't want a yes, even if it's not the answer you want to hear right now, I can tell you that this yes is going to bring a lot of happiness in your future. But I do feel that for most of you, you wanted this yes. It just seems very exciting. Like, I'm really excited to see this. We have the Nine of Cups for one, which is a card that talks about wishes being fulfilled, getting what you desire. And this, along with the Six of Swords, both of these cards talk about moving into a peaceful situation. So we have with the Nine of Cups, stress is fading away. You're starting to enjoy your life again. You're feeling comfortable, content. You're feeling satisfied with what you have. You feel like things are going right for you. Six of Swords as well, like turbulent times are over. Times of uncertainty are over. Stressful times of anxiety, times of nervousness are coming to an end, and it's smooth sailing from here on out. I also want to say, because you have both the Six of Swords and the Chariot, of course, I don't know what your question was, but I do want to say that these together are indicators of travel. So relocating, going on a trip somewhere, changing your physical environment, or of course, this could be traveling in a metaphorical sense, like we are moving forward, we're moving on from something, we're advancing. It does seem as well like things are going to be moving very quickly for you guys for the next while. I want to say for the next 6 months, things are going to be moving very quickly. You're going to be making fast progress, because we do have the Chariot, and also just when I was shuffling these cards, they were coming out like boom, 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 very fast. And I think that you'll find that if you are manifesting, your manifestations are happening more quickly and with less effort. Or in general, the goals that you are working towards, you're able to move towards them with less resistance, less challenges, less obstacles. It just feels like the hard stuff is over. I just have this image of you in a little car, and like you've been stuck at a red light, and the light finally turned green, and you're like, woo, like you can finally go where you want to go and do what you want to do. You can finally enjoy the things that you've been desiring. It's like your wishes are coming true, delays are over, blockages are removed. What can I say? This is the first reading that I feel it's just like all positive stuff. Like, really, you can go and watch the other groups if you don't believe me. I'm not sugarcoating this right now. This is just like excellent energy. I do actually want to mention something though, because I started to film this a couple hours ago. I didn't even get to pulling the cards. I was just doing the whole spiel in the intro, but then the house was too noisy because there's like 4 other people in the house. And so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do this right now. I'm just gonna like turn off the camera, take a break, and come back. So I feel like there's a couple points of significance in that for you guys, that you will not miss this opportunity, whatever this is. Like, yes, things are moving quickly, but it doesn't necessarily feel time sensitive. There's no sense of like, if I don't do this now, I'm gonna miss my shot. If I don't go for it now, I'm gonna miss my shot. So if for whatever reason, like you don't feel ready for these blessings or opportunities, or you feel like you need a bit more time to think, that is totally fine. And remember that it's okay to slow down and take breaks. You might get carried away with, you know, things gaining momentum. It's almost like Eight of Wands energy. You might get carried away with things gaining momentum in your life, but it's okay to slow down. And just to give a more concrete example of what I'm talking about, let's say you started a business, or like you started a YouTube channel or something like that, and you start getting a ton of traffic out of nowhere and it's growing really, really fast, or you have a shop and the orders are pouring in. You might feel like, if I don't take all of these orders, like I have to do it while the traffic is coming in. If I don't take all of these orders, then I'm gonna miss my chance and like people are gonna lose interest. So I have to take all of the orders that are coming in. Or like I'm getting traffic to my YouTube channel, so I have to be posting every day so that I can make the most of this attention that I'm getting right now. And if I wait too long, then all the people are gonna leave. And your guides are saying like, no, that's not true. So yes, blessings are coming to you quickly, but you don't have to stress yourself out of like, oh shit, life is speeding up, so I have to speed up too. Because these blessings are going to be here to stay. Like those customers are here to stay, those viewers are here to stay. So take your time doing what you're doing. Take your time doing the work. Like it's not time sensitive. I hope that that makes sense. I could even use this example in relationships. Maybe you finally get with this person you've really wanted to be with and you feel that things are moving really fast, but you're like, oh man, like I want to tell them that I want to take things slow, but if I say something, then they're going to be offended and then they're not going to want to be with me anymore. Like, no, that is not the case. And also, your guides will understand, like they know how grateful you are for these blessings. And so it won't be like, oh, I guess you don't really want it then. Like it's okay to slow down. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to be overwhelmed. It's okay to have mixed feelings. Like whenever we go through big changes, there's always mixed feelings and sometimes it's a lot. So yeah, take all the time you need, I guess, is what I want to say. And speaking of relationships, we do have the Two of Cups over here. So for any of you guys who were asking if you're going to have a desired outcome in your relationship, then that is a big fat yes. This is a card that talks about reciprocated feelings and soulmates. The Six of Swords talks about improved communication. With these two cards next to each other, this is a huge sign of a heart-to-heart conversation between someone who you love or someone who you deeply care about, and getting a lot of clarity. Just being able to crack your heart open and say everything that you want to say. But in other situations, this could also indicate the people in your life supporting you through this journey, showing how proud they are of you, showing how much they appreciate you. And on the off chance that some of you guys didn't want this yes, like this yes means something bad for a relationship, I feel like this is indicating that much better is coming. Something that will make you so much happier is coming. Because there's heavy soulmate imagery with the Two of Cups here, and also with this like two-headed bird. I think of this as like two souls that are so similar, if not one and the same. And they have one higher self or one spirit guide who is guiding both of them. The black and white stripes on them also reminds me of yin and yang. So many of you guys seem to be manifesting your soulmate, or maybe asked about a soulmate. In other cases, this could be like a really trusted partner who's coming in to help you achieve your goals, like a business partner or a mentor or some sort of collaborator. But I can definitely say that you guys are going places. You're going places. Life is about to get a lot less stressful and a lot sweeter. So take your time, enjoy it, and really like don't feel pressure, because you have a lot of time to enjoy these blessings. They're not going anywhere. So you don't have to like get it all done now. You don't have to hurry. You don't have to stress. Like it's here to stay. I really want you guys to know that the worst is over. We even have, this one like Five of Cups in reverse. Some of you guys Well, first of all, if you've been struggling with your mental health, especially if you've been struggling with feelings of depression or feeling empty or just feeling sad about life, I think with these two cards, your mental health is improving drastically in the next 6 months. You know, this is finding mental clarity and inner peace and getting over mental turmoil. This is like a broken heart healing. We're moving forward. We're finding balance. Mental health looks amazing. Emotional health looks amazing. For some of you, this might be indicating that you will have to lose something in order to gain all of this, because this can have a bit of a bittersweet energy. So just for one example, I don't know what you're asking about, but just for one example, you might have to let go of a wishy-washy situationship to manifest the full-on beautiful soulmate connection. Or you might have to let go of a job or a path that you're pursuing to bring in your calling, to bring in the path to your life purpose. That's just for some of you. I think for most, it's just indicating like your mental and emotional health healing. But for a select few of you, it's like we have to lose something to gain something greater. And then all of these beautiful blessings are waiting for you on the other side. I think a good chunk of you guys as well are moving. And so there's a bittersweet feeling of leaving an old place behind, but you know that you're moving on to something greater. And then we have this beautiful Three of Pentacles here, which talks about, first of all, being very motivated. It talks about having a good work ethic. I just feel like you guys are coming back, like you're coming out of a depression, or you're coming out of a funk, or you're coming out of a rut. You're coming out of a period of stagnation where like you just, things couldn't get going, or you didn't feel inspired. It's like you are getting your, it's like you're getting your mojo back. That's what it feels like. And this can also talk about like teamwork and community and collaboration. So what I'm seeing for you guys in your future is that you have an amazing support system with you. I do see a very specific like couple or partnership of two people that is going to play the most significant role in the next 6 months. For many of you, it's a soulmate coming in, or a soulmate that you're already with, like your partner, your spouse. They're going to be a huge support for you in the next while, and your biggest fan and your biggest cheerleader. But I also see a larger community coming together to support you. I think that you're going to be feeling more extroverted for the next months, more social, more motivated, and in a very collaborative energy. I think you're going to have a lot of fun like doing things as a group. So if you're a student, you might have a lot of fun like doing group projects, or meeting up with your classmates to study together, or hanging out with your classmates outside of school. Or if you're an artist, you might be doing a lot of like collaborative projects in the next while, really enjoying sharing ideas with others and motivating others. And even if you're the type of person who's like, oh my God, no, I prefer to work alone, the energy is moving so smoothly. We've seen like no resistance, no blockages. So the people you collaborate with, like you just get each other and you communicate to each other so well, and you have the same vision such that collaborating goes very, very smoothly. Like I see minimal butting heads. It's like that good kind of collaboration where you all give 100% and then it becomes like 1,000%. It becomes like so much more amazing than you could ever do alone. So I see you really deepening your appreciation for community and for collaborators and for your support system. If it's one thing that you are not, it's alone. You have so much love and support around you. Wow. I feel like I talked about a lot of stuff, maybe even some things that didn't have to do with your question, but I hope that you were still happy to hear these messages, because I swear it's all so positive. It's really the only group that was completely just like good things coming. But group number 5, you guys have earned it. you've been through a tough time, and it's about time that things got easy and things got fun and that we got these blessings that we've been working so hard towards. So to sum that all up, because it's a lot, wishes coming true, opportunities coming in, especially having to do with increasing traffic, increasing customers, increasing your following, reciprocated feelings with someone you're interested in, manifesting soulmates, improved mental health and emotional health, and collaboration, support system. Wow, it's a lot happening for you guys. So these are all of the messages that I am seeing for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Group number 5, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and definitely check out the Livette the Ghost tarot deck. If you enjoyed the deck in today's reading and you want to see if it resonates with you, you can check it out on Tarot Stack's website and take a look at every card. And you can also get the deck for 10% off with my code KINO, so that's going to be down below for you. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram, on Patreon, on my music channel, and on my website where I have my merch. Thank you so much for being here. Group number 5, I'm sending you so much love. Much love to any person or people who are involved in your situation. Much love to your spirit guides and your whole spiritual team. If this is the last reading, oh wait, if you want to watch any of the other readings, then I will see you over there. I kind of gave away that this is the best one, but there's still some good messages in the other groups if you felt drawn to any of them. Could be insightful, could be helpful. So if you're going to check out another group, I'll see you over there. But if this is your last reading today, which I was starting to say before, then I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!